cases of was this Ziggs. Yes, Isaac did get caught a few times, but we saw how influential the Mega Inferno Bomb came to putting Juan at low HP, to making sure that those smaller members of Sengoku had to take forced recalls a lot earlier into the game. So what do Sengoku do here? Do they go for do they immediately reach for it? I expect for them to kind of reach for the jungle now that Lee Sin has been picked. I don't know if they'll go for Graves again. We have to start thinking, where does Jarvan look like in this meta right now?
We saw a fantastic Jarvan game as the closing finale from Trevor on Team Secret. Picked up a triple kill within, an unofficial triple kill within that game. I think he was pretty much deathless in that last game, but Rush, this time around, he's the one that is reaching for the supreme objective control, looking for the consume smite combos, making sure that Sengoku can have first crack and pretty much dominance over objective control.
I mean, Nunu has just been so disgusting throughout the Horizon Cup. This champion has just risen in priority. As soon as we got to see the first game of it, everybody said, oh wow, that's a really good champion. We get Fiora, and I was wondering for Sengoku, they grabbed the Lucian, which obviously is great for Juan if they want for it, but what does it takes away from Luna's champion pool right there. So were we going to see the Corki immediately? And it seems like Rolsters, they picked up on that and grabbed the Fiora, which is, I mean, the exact champion we want to see Rattel on.
And when you have Doe already on this Lee Sin, you're thinking about, okay, what characters are you potentially building for either Luna or Rattel to snowball? And both of these champions are great late game carries, and they need resources funneled into them. They need someone to kind of make that early game bridge so that they can get through the first 10 minutes of the game, get to those 2 item power spikes, and that's when they really start wrecking house. Whether it's a split push in the 1v1 for Rattel, or if it's in those team fights like Luna's scored.
This will be really interesting. Rolsters, they have final pick here. Looks like they're just going to try and see where the support is going to go. Now that they know that it is Braum for themselves, they've saved this for Salem. Alistar is gone. We still have Rakan available if they want to go for an engage. Nami would obviously be really good with how many melee members they have, but they want Thresh, which, you know, gives them for some pickability. And when you look at Sengoku in this team fight, you can peel off so many different members with that flay.
If you can flay the Justice Punch, if you can flay a Slice and Dice, or even catch out Juan mid-dash with the flay as well, those are great options. But I'm not gonna lie to you, Alk Battery. For me, I feel like if you wanted to like a tank champion, or if you wanted someone that helps with engage or disengage,
you could probably get something better, right? Like, that's why Thresh is usually just so popular. He does a lot of great things all at once, but if you really want someone who's like an expert class champion at, you know, one thing or another, there's always going to be that best in class spot. But Salem obviously on this Thresh does offer a lot of assistance, either engaging or disengaging. And when you look at Sengoku, they really, really need to team fight. They need to find victory here, because you're looking at Rolsters and you've got 2 side laners in the Diana and the Fiora who can be very flexible if we come to team fights.
Yeah, majority of Sengoku Gaming's power is in the 5-on-5. I mean, you've got powerful team fighting ultimates, Hero's Entrance, Absolute Zero, Glacial Fissure. Hell, Dominus is great for just soaking up damage when Kai is attempting to look for those flanks. My only concern is for the side of Sengoku Gaming is, I know Galio can deal a decent amount of damage in the late game, and I know that if I say that Galio doesn't do damage, then TJ might just come from behind the green room and start punching me.
I mean, Galio does a lot of damage. Like, that full AP build from mid lane, it hurts. The Winds of War will find you, and they will take you down.
But when I'm talking about sustained damage, it really is down to Juan. So, that Juan has to be protected at all costs. This is a get down Mr. President composition. They are protecting him.
The MVP.
Yeah, they the VIP, I would even say. You know, if Juan goes down, I feel like the rest of this composition
just blows up at that point.
It just collapses. and it's a bad time for Sengoku Gaming. Whereas for Rolster Y, they have multiple carries, and they have plenty of ways to play through it. Their 5-on-5 won't be as strong as Sengoku Gaming, granted, but the split push pressure from Rattel, as Rest and the rest of Rolster have just many avenues to play through as well.
Rolsters have given themselves what I consider a very flexible draft, many options to kind of how they want to be able to win a game. And for Sengoku, they may have pigeonholed themselves a little too much, especially early on with that Renekton first pick. Level 1s, baby!
Hey, Doe, I mean, he's just trying to farm his Krugs. And Sengoku Gaming are not going to force a flash out. They're not going to take him down, but they will put him off the back foot. And considering that Lee Sin, it is so crucial for him to start the early game off with such high octane gameplay. This puts Doe kind of on the back foot.
For a little bit, right? It's a lot. They took a long time for him to do this. Hopefully with Rush, when you're looking at this Nunu, you're talking about how fast he can clear the bot lane for Rolsters. They don't know what to do here. They don't have any wards. Salem, he's just going to face check. Winter's Bite just misses. Flay is there. They got the red buff. Walk it out, boys. Just smile and wave.
He was kind of zooming around. It's like, I wonder where these guys are.
Where are they? The red buff isn't there.
Yeah, it seemed like a Scooby-Doo mystery all of a sudden. And then he's like, oh, God, I found them. And
Get in the mystery van, boys. Run. Uh-oh. Well, not much doing here, Rafa. They already knew that the bot lane for Sengoku Gaming was here in the Baron lane, so they just moved on through. They did the rotations. That hook happened, and for right now, I mean, we're talking about, hey, let's get Rift Herald control. You know how you do that? You just put your Dragon Lane duo up there. Make sure that you always have the ability to fight for it in a few minutes.
You know, Sengoku, we're aware potentially of the fact that, like, hey, every time we go for first dragon, it doesn't really go greatly for us in the game, but we still want to play through Juan and Dejawu. So how do we put the 2 and 2 together? You just flip the side of the map.
Oh, take a look at this. Doe was not spotted. He did use the sweeper award, so he wasn't seen here. And Hawk, not level 5 yet, so he's going to try and steal versus Nunu. Is down a huge level. Oh! He didn't get it!
Oh, no, wait, I don't think he got it. He only has blue buff. Doe has to get the hell out of there.
Run!
You can't compete with the Nunu Smite. It was a beautiful attempt, but unfortunately, Doe, high variance gameplay does not come out this time for you, my friend.
You said this is beautiful. That's a little bit dark and twisted. This is not the fantasy I wanted to be a part of. Doe, I don't know if that's really what you want to do. You're down levels now. You're up against Nunu. You're on that timer that we were talking about, right? How fast Nunu can contest for objectives, how fast he can clear through his jungle. Doe is looking for avenues to get back into this game gold-wise, but it's just not working.
You know, it's one of those plays where you look back on it. If it works, Doe looks like a genius.
Yeah, but then it also backfires, and it's like, oh no, we forced the flash as well from the Lee Sin, which is just painful to see.
And going for that play means one of two things. One, Doe is communicating with his team and is basically getting the information that none of these lanes are gankable, and so therefore he has to look for another avenue of getting himself an advantage over Rush, or Doe is just ready to flip it. You know, he's like, you know what? I got this.
You know, we're seeing it now too, where he went to go for an invade, tried to steal the early blue buff, and then said, oh no, I don't have any lane priority. I actually can't do this. Doesn't have a red buff, can try to take his Krugs. They're trying to find something on a Salem. Maybe Doe has a kick here, but they're just constantly invading.
Yeah, they don't want Doe to be able to play the game.
Take the enemy jungler out.
They recognize that Doe had so much pressure last time, but the way that Rush is playing this game, even though he's not an early game champion, he's being super oppressive right now, preventing buffs from being secured by Rolster. Juan being brought over here as well, trying to force out Rolster. And Rolster, they want to fight back. Salem connects with the death sentence on the 2 with the Flay. Throws down the box, but has the flash out. Isaac now with the Moonfall on the 3, but there's no damage fall. The Absolute Zero is going to be huge. The taunt lands on the 3.
That's first blood
for Sengoku. But do they have damage to follow back up? Hero's Entrance lands on the Salem. The knockup. Salem's so critically low, but Doe wants to go back in. What the hell is happening? Calm down.
Oh my god, what are they doing? There's just not enough damage. Everybody's fighting low. Rattel's about to get solo kill.
There's action everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. This is Wildrift at its best.
We're going to game 2 here, right? We're talking about game 1 jitters. They're completely out of the window, right? Sengoku Gaming and Rolster Y, they just want to keep on fighting. They said, we are fighting to the death every single objective. They're trying to counter jungle. They're trying to take away Doe's ability to be in this game. And the fights are just non-stop. We saw so many individual skirmishes right there.
We got a moment to breathe.
Woo!
We got to calm down. Stop it, Doe. Stop it.
Get some help. Don't do that.
I see you being fancy with the Lee Sin mechanics. I know. I like to do that too. However, you're giving me a heart attack. We're not even through the second game of the series yet.
It's 5.5 minutes. It's that fast-paced, wilder esport coming here for a Wildrift, but should be the Rift Herald. Sengoku, they recognize this is a little bit dicey. Don't know if we really want to do this. Their bot lane can make a movement at any time. You are playing Nunu Rush, right? You do have that consume. Take a look. What does Rush do? Does he want to try and make a pick here? He does have the Dragon's Rage kick. And Rattel and Kai are on the way. Rolster's looking to try and stake their early game here on this.
But look at the rest of the rotation of Rolster. They realize that they cannot compete with Consume Smite. They're starting up the Dragon, 4k HP on the objective right now. But Rush is rolling in with that grand snowball. Doe has to get over the wall. Glacial Fissure, the snowball knock up. Salem with a beautiful dark passage will save his jungler. But the other objective that they wanted to go for, they could not burn down in time. And now Sengoku get both Rift Herald and the Dragon.
It's the early game that we're still talking about, right? Because Doe is set behind, he's one step behind every single time against Sengoku Gaming. So now they get their cake, they get to eat it too, they get the Rift Herald and the Dragon, and can now set up for a mid play with any of this kind of objective pressure. With that Rift Herald, they can knock down all of these turrets.
And once again, Rush is significantly ahead in gold against Doe. But it's not the type of champions that we would have expected this time around. Last time, Doe was on the Nunu, he was on the tank, and Rush was playing the scaling combat jungler in Graves. But it's Rush on the Nunu against an early game powerhouse like Lee Sin, but the teamwork, the facilitation of the rest of the core cast supporting members of Sengoku Gaming, making that invade happen and just putting Doe extremely far behind.
It's all about the wonky early game. The fact that Doe was taken out so early, and then specifically Dejiwo, who has had really great positioning so far, linking up with Rush to then take control of that side of the jungle and make it a very uncomfortable matchup as Hawk, he's got the taunt out, flash from Salem.
Nice amount of damage reduction, dodging out on the death sentence as well. Beautiful flash. Hawk, I mean, clean stuff. Trying to mitigate all of the burst damage, the crucial ones from Isaac, but Doe is here, potentially looking for a pick.
They've got the Rift Herald. They need to make this play. If Rolsters cannot find this turret, if they cannot find this kill, they're going to lose out on so much and now collapse around the mid lane. Sengoku Gaming, got to be careful. Take this turret, recall, or you're going to fall really heavily here.
Yeah, Sengoku forced the hands of Doe and Rattel, knowing that had they not responded, that could have been more than just that first tier turret going down.
This is such an interesting game, Rafa, where Rolsters, it feels like they're a little lost now on the Wild Rift, right? They don't know what to do. They can't make proactive plays like we've seen in their other games, and without a really clear objective lead somewhere out onto the map, they look like they're just kind of running around trying to find something and unable to do so. Just kick them out. No, no, you're not stunning me under the turret. Away. I want the play.
Crocodile, get! I feel like you, coming from Florida, have a lot of experience with gator pests.
Yes, gators are not invasive, but definitely annoying to deal with when you go out into your back patio and you're just like, oh, this is a pool? Oh, there's a gator in there. Nice. Well, gotta call animal services and get that taken care of. But not happening here for Kai. He is going wherever he pleases, and Rolsters can just do not enough to really keep him away.
Now, I know if you're looking at Doe, he's having not the best time. And it doesn't feel
Definitely
good
not.
to be behind as Lee Sin, especially against a Nunu. But if you look at the rest of the board, Isaac is still farming extremely well, about 1,300 gold against Hawk. Luna is even with Juan. Rattel, about 600 gold ahead of Kai. If you remember that your three carries are the ones that matter the most the later the game goes on, then Rolster are in a decent position to just wait out the game once again.
They can wait out this game. It's going to take a little longer than maybe we would expect just because of how this game has gone so far. Sengoku are consistently applying pressure. And now with the objectives coming up, it is on Rolster to find and engage, find something going on. They have the Corki package, which right now Luna is going to finish, go back to base. Actually cancels the recall, so going to be missing out on a really big timer here with no package and no finished second item. Maybe the red buff is the goal that he's looking for to finish out on Solari Chargeblade, and that's a massive power spike, a wake up here for Corki.
Salem and Isaac are already here just scoping out the area of this Baron Pit. Rift Herald.
Catch out on Salem.
Yeah, Rush knocks him up, forcing the flash out. Salem no longer having that summoner spell available. Doe is here, but it's very hard to outsmite, consume smite, as we've already seen in the prior game.
He's gonna go for it.
Okay, Doe, kick, smite down.
No.
Rush, just too clean with it. Consume smite. It's an honest and valiant attempt from Doe, but it's just really damn hard to do.
But why go for it, right? There's a whole other objective. We know where the other 3 members of Sengoku are. They're sitting in mid lane, sitting in that brush. Rolsters, I think, are getting very stubborn right now on the map. They are not going for their objectives. They recognize, wow, this is a frustrating game to go with. And so far, Rush has really just made this game all his own. Stasis comes out from Hawk, will prevent the solo kill there. And Sengoku are getting every single thing to go right for them.
Kai managing to live out on that 1v1. Isaac has just picked up a death cap. So once again, you know, wait a minute.
Hawk is just
okay. So check this out.
I'm waiting.
Oh well. I wanted
Rush
to skip.
can't do anything here. Rush is simply here for the helping boys. And maybe Doe finds a kill.
I think he really just wants to kill him, man. I think Doe has a personal vendetta. He's feeling a little irked that he got invaded on. He missed out on the buff. He missed out on the dragon.
Isaac?
Isaac's fine. He's got Salem there in his left wing.
Okay.
But, you know, maybe the rest of the team Rolster are saying, hey, Doe, calm down, it's okay. I know it's not fun to be 2,000 gold down against a Nunu, especially as Lee Sin, but you know what? All you gotta do...
Juan?
Oh, that's a lot of damage from both lady carries. Juan comes out victorious, but the rest of... Rattel tries to jump for it! Guys, what's happening? Rolster just losing their minds.
Luna has looked like one of the best marksmen here in the tournament, and Juan just steps up, finally makes a relentless pursuit that is incredibly aggressive, and kills him on the spot. Now this should be Hawk going down. I don't know if they have the pick. Flash out for the Galio.
I don't know. Hawk is pretty tanky. Isaac really wants to kill, but once again, Isaac being thwarted by a stasis. Hawk is able to survive the encounter in 1v3, and look where the rest of the members from Sengoku Gaming are.
They're just blowing up this bot lane. They can take another turret here. Luna is not going to be strong enough to take down these 2 bruisers. If they want to go for a dive, they can. They're going to leave it expertly low. And now Sengoku Gaming are firmly in control of this game. Juan can solo kill the enemy ADC. Isaac has not found a kill yet, not found his mark. This is a dangerous game to be playing for Rolster.
Yeah, what the story was that we saw from game 1 between both of these teams, they were extremely patient. Sengoku Gaming and Rolster being able to answer blow for blow until a victorious team fight broke out for Rolster, and they just climbed and clawed their way through the mid-late game. But this time around, Sengoku Gaming, knowing that they cannot just take for chance a late game fight against Rolster, go for the play of trying to put Doe behind. And look at how many unforced errors that Rolster are exhibiting. The pressure is on them, and I feel like they're not in that bad of a state that they think they are.
Yeah, I think they are kind of exaggerating the gold lead, but they're going to kick Dejiwo out.
They got a 2-man knockup, but it's a front line. You have to worry about Juan, who is just pelting shot after shot in the backline with this polling. Luna's now free fighting on the front line, but Isaac finally finds a moonfall that will connect onto multiple members. But Kai is here. He is the cleanup crew. This crocodile is huge, but Isaac got a triple into the backline. Kai suddenly finds himself in the midst of 4 unfriendly people. Just as we were saying that Rolster, they should stop going for risky fights, they make us eat our words and they ace Sengoku Gaming.
The only way that we've seen them fall is through taking down Rattel. We've got the Axe replay here to see exactly how Rolster win this. The damage is just not here. We're waiting for Galio to come into this fight. Kai is not available. And it is just Rolster's DPS untouched in this. And Isaac blowing up the members before the exhaust comes out is so key for them.
Fool me once.
Shame on me.
Fool me twice.
Shame on you.
Fool me 3 times. I don't even
blame on you.
I can't stop Rolster and fault them for trying and trying. But, you know, this time around, Doe finds an engage where the rest of Rolster can follow up. And just like that, the gold lead that Sengoku had commanded for themselves is immediately taken aback by Rolster.
And now they have the Baron in their back pocket. They're playing on timers. that right there felt like the last breath that gave Rolster's life back into this game. Beforehand, they were struggling to find anything. They were grasping at straws, and now they're going to get themselves their first drink of the game. They're going to now also have this Baron to push out on waves and force Sengoku to answer them. And now you have a Baron up Fiora that is on the side lane, and not anybody can really face him. Hawk got solo killed last time around. Kai is just barely strong enough. Rolsters, they've scaled. We were talking about being confident in their ability to go later into the game. Both of these teams feeling very sound in their team fight ability. But we're here.
We have a 1v1 into the bottom lane. Rattel against one. He
kills him.
Oh, it's a 1v1 traded. Baron laner for Dragon laner. But remember, the rest of the damage from Sengoku Gaming is built upon one. Without one, there's not a team that can structurally be bound. It's all going to be on Kai. But if they can't get to the front line, Luna can just hit this front line for free. He Valkyries forward. He feels confident. The rest of Rolster, they have his back. They've got the cleanup crew right there. Oh! Despite being down, despite being just put in the dirt in the early game, still comes through. Another ace for Rolster.
And that gold has been cleaned up. We mentioned it earlier into the game, but Isaac had been farming up, had been waiting to really show off his potential in this game. And the late game here for Rolster kicks in. Unable to deal with Isaac's Diana, unable to really shut down and prevent Luna from being able to pump out that damage. It leads to Rolster opening up an inhibitor and looking to end the game.
Juan is going to try to do his best to defend this.
He's just gone.
He gets deleted. Rolster just like that. It takes one team fight in the late game, no matter how far behind they are.